Leader of the Third Party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last November, this government announced a climate change policy that will push out coal and bring in a carbon tax. We've heard the carbon tax will be revenue neutral, but the details don't support this. And Mr. Speaker, one key partner has been completely left out of the conversations on how this new carbon tax will affect them, and that partner is Alberta's municipalities. To the Municipal Affairs Minister, please tell your municipal partners what assistance they will receive to deal with escalating costs caused by your NDP carbon tax.
Good question.
Minister of the Environment.
Mr. Speaker, one of the things that we're very proud about with respect to our revenue-neutral carbon levy is that we will be reinvesting money back into the economy, and that, quite frankly, municipalities will be very generous beneficiaries of this plan. And so we are moving forward with it. When we introduce the budget, the details of the overall amounts of money will be demonstrated, and then we will engage in very active consultations with our municipal partners on how best to work with them, and we look forward to that, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. More revenue-neutral double talk. Mr. Speaker, we know this government will allow large emitters in the oil sands to offset carbon tax through a royalty reduction and incentives for large producers to reach lower thresholds. What we don't know is how small and medium-sized oil and gas companies and oil field service companies will be able to weather this government's policy storm. To the Minister of Energy, what specific programs have you implemented that will help small drilling and supply companies and operations to prevent them from shifting their business east to places that are more business-friendly, starting with Saskatchewan?
Minister of Energy.
Mr. Speaker, well, first of all, let's be clear, 79% of Canadian oil and gas is in Alberta. We were working through the royalty plan. We have status quo for oil sands. They go the same. We've harmonized liquids for the smaller companies, and the costs of carbon will be calculated as expenses moving forward.
Second supplemental.
Well, thank you. Mr. Speaker, given that under this government's approach to energy development in rural areas, that will mean many people will lose their jobs, some have already lost their jobs, and some will need to change industries or learn new skills. To the Premier or one of her ministers, what changes to your climate change plan will you make to have explicit long-term provisions that could stimulate local skills development in green tech or some other industry so people can continue to be employed as they were before you became government?
Honourable Premier.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I think the first thing to be clear is that the loss of jobs in the oil and gas sector are because the price of oil has dropped by over 75%. So let's not forget that. The carbon levy has not even been introduced. So that's scaremongering, and it has nothing to do with the very serious job loss problems that our whole province is facing, and we are very, very aware of. That being said, the carbon levy will actually provide us with an opportunity to incent and to generate green infrastructure and additional work that will provide job opportunities for people who've lost their jobs in the energy.